first section, quadratic functions and their models, section 1 of chapter 3. So we're talking about quadratic functions. Polynomials. Polynomials are basically just equations with many terms. Okay, so here's we have many terms, right? 3x to the fourth plus 2x squared plus 7x plus 1, and it's an equation, so it's just equal to y or equal to f of x, meaning the same thing. And so basically you have exponents, and for a polynomial here, the exponent would be 1 on this x, and then this one actually 0. So the exponents have to be non-negative integers. Okay, so they can't be negative, and they can't be fractions, basically. And then these are in front of the variables. Those are called coefficients. And then each term is separated by an adding or subtracting sign, right? This last one, this one is called the constant because it has no variable on it. Okay, then the degree, since we're only looking at an x, since it just has an x in all these, the degree of this is just the largest exponent. If it had an x in it, then we would do something different, but most of these polynomials that we're going to face and we're going to graph this chapter are just going to have one variable, right? So it's the largest exponent. And then the coefficient in front, that's called the leading coefficient. And then, like I said, our constant is the number without the variable. So this degree would be degree of 4. So it has a degree of 4. And this lets you know also how many x-intercepts it has. So it lets you know how many x-intercepts it has. X-intercepts, you can also use the word zeros, right? How many zeros it has. These are interchangeable words. Solutions. X-intercepts means where the graph crosses the x-axis, right? Your y value is 0. That's why it's called zeros. Solutions, because they're answers to your problems. And also, you have the roots. They're called roots. So any of these 4 words are interchangeable. The last one, the 0 exponent, that is f of x equals 0. And that whenever it's just plain 0, you have no degree. There is no degree on that. Okay, then the quadratic functions, that is our standard form. Our standard form is y equals or f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And this is our parabola, the U-shaped. And every parabola, every quadratic goes domain is from negative infinity to infinity. And then the range is based off our vertex, right? Our vertex is the lowest or highest point. Vertex, lowest or highest point. So low would be minimum, and highest would be maximum. So lowest, we would have a minimum. So like this would be our vertex, and then a maximum would be this as the highest point. Okay, so when we're talking about range, if it's facing up, right, if it faces up, that means that our range would be from that lowest point, so that y value of the vertex, because the range is always talking about the y value, comma, up to positive infinity. Or if it faces down, then we're going to go from negative infinity up until that y value of your vertex. Okay, so that's the domain and the range. And then the vertex form, so that's standard form up there. Vertex form is f of x equals or y equals a parentheses x minus h quantity squared plus k, where our vertex is h comma k. And again, a would make it face up or down. and we'll talk about that in the next video.